Hello everybody, welcome back to the show. We are building VR apps for Android using Unity 2017.1. And in this video we're going to take a look at some of the canvas issues that we've been having. Let's go ahead and jump over and take a look and see what we're talking about. So this is our 2D opening scene, okay? We could already see that the tiny little button to let us get in is just so tiny that it cannot even be picked up by the camera. It's tiny. It's bad. So we're going to click on that if we can even touch it. There we go. And now that we are in our 3D, or now that we're in VR, we have a problem with the fact that our selection has been made without the inclusion of our HUD. Our HUD would be that basically it's a red circle that is supposed to encircle the ball before we select it. So let's take a look and see what we can do about that. All right, so right here we've got a test scene set up. Let's go ahead and arrange it a little bit so it's a little bit neater. Okay. Now what we're looking at here is the ball. So when we look at the ball, there's a timer that begins to build. When it fills, it selects the ball, and over here we can see that we can place the ball just by letting the timer go through its motions again. Okay, so that worked back in the day. But unfortunately, when you build, it's just not going to work anymore. So what we need to do is we need to go in here and take a look at our canvas. Right now it's set to screen space overlay, and it needs to be set to world space. Okay, so we got that set to world space, but here's the problem. If we were to try to run this again and look at the object, it's not working. So how did we break it? Well, we didn't quite break it, we just didn't do enough with it. So what we need to do is come over here and zero out the position of your canvas and also change its size. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for the image. We are going to change its width to about half of what it was, and probably bring its X down to about 0.2, just to be safe. We'll adjust these settings in a little bit. So click on the canvas, come over here to your Y, select that, and it'll take you to the top. Now, your camera is right here. Okay, so is your canvas. So select your canvas and pull it away from your camera. Now you won't actually be able to see what you're looking at, so let's go ahead and come over here to image, and remember that that circle is basically just a single image having an amount of visibility revealed. Okay, so there we go. We're going to change the fill amount to about half, and now when we go to our canvas we should be able to eventually see that circle. There we go. You see only about half of it's filled up. Now we obviously are going to have to shrink this down again because it's on the other side of this block in order to be able to see it, but we need it right up next to our camera. So let's try it again. Come over here, 0.2, 0.2. That's better, but not good. 0.1 and 0.1. All right, and we'll do the same thing for the image itself. 0.1, 0.1. And probably even come down here and do something crazy like 20 by 20. Okay, 20 by 20 was a little extreme. 30 by 30? Yeah, that seems a little bit better. Okay, so we can even edge it a little bit forward. Now it's still pretty big. Go ahead and hit play. And there we go. It works. So, excellent. So, as you can see, if we were to look here, we can see that our canvas is right in front of our camera, and it activates whenever we need it. Okay, good job, guys. All right, the next thing that we need to do is go over to our main menu. Or, yes, save. All right, our main menu has a problem. Right now, we just saw that it's too small. It's way too small. So what we need to do is come over here to our canvas and change its canvas scaler. Come over here to constant pixel size and then scale with screen size. Excellent. Okay, the other thing we need to do, let's go back into that, save, and let's change that image so that it's no longer halfway filled. All right, come over here, shrink that up, test it one more time. Excellent. Okay, let's go ahead and build. Build and run. There we go. There's the Unity splash screen. And Viola. Now we have a much larger button. You guys can actually see it. There you go. Let's go ahead and push it. Shouldn't be too hard now. Oh, on the first try, no less. Okay, here's the big test now. Here's the big test. Oh my goodness. Did you guys see that? You saw that, right? You saw that. Oh yes, our HUD works. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We have basically fixed those two problems, and you know, it's easy to understand how they can happen. With a 2D screen, you have the ability to move a mouse around and highlight things, and in the VR screen, you are literally having to use a raycaster. There's no way to touch the screen that's right up against your eyeballs. So the same methods that worked for 2D just don't work anymore. So I don't know if they've actually fixed this or addressed this properly in other builds, in other versions of Unity, but the basic concept is pretty solid. You know, just put your HUD in actual space. You know, so got to make sure that it is between you and the object that you are targeting. Okay. Thank you guys. I wanted to thank you very much for watching this. I'm sorry it's taken so long to come out. Things have been kind of fun and crazy, and crazily fun. But we are back. We're going to make a whole brand new series, and I'm just curious to see when you guys want to switch over to a newer version of Unity. So we can either do a couple more, finish up a couple loose ends around here, or we can just jump right in and start on the new project, which will be making a legitimate menu to play with. So it'll have a pause button, power up menu, uh, volume menu, Mega Man style selection screen, and then of course a back button, which would be very handy. Thank you guys all again, and we are going to try to push this forward as quickly as possible. So I wanted to give a special thanks to viewer Ahmad Rawan Fayouzi for sending out a link to some documentation that helped me figure all this out. It provided some very good insight. I will leave the link to that article in the description of this video. So guys, thank you very much. All of your smiling faces really makes it all worthwhile, and I will see you in the next video.